Alright, so let's get started. Here I am on the GitHub repo for OpenPortReaper. And this section basically explains what the tool is: a lightweight asynchronous ethical port scanner that maps open ports, detects services, analyzes risks, and even generates a clean PDF report. Scrolling down, you'll see the features list: full range scanning, service detection, severity tagging, a clean Hacker UI dashboard, all the good stuff. Oh, and one more thing, I also added intelligent banner grabbing. So whenever service sends back a banner, the scanner captures it and includes it in both the UI and the PDF report. I'll update the README after this video. Now, let's jump into the setup. I'm just copying the quick start commands from the README, and I'll paste them directly into my terminal. We clone the repository, then move into the folder using CD, and finally I run code. To open the entire project inside VS Code. And boom! VS Code launches the project. This is where the real action starts. Once VS Code loads up, I go straight to the built-in terminal at the bottom. Now, I'm going to set up a virtual environment for the project. I type Python mvenvenv and wait a few seconds while it creates all the files. After that, I activate the environment. Since I'm on Windows, I just run venv/scripts/activate, and you can see the little venv tag appear in the terminal, which means the environment is active. Next, I install all the dependencies. I run pip install our requirements.txt. It's pulling in Flask for the web server, IF files for async handling, ReportLab for generating PDFs, Unicorn for deployment compatibility, and of course, the request library. So yeah, this part is mostly just letting pip do its thing. Sometimes this step takes a bit, depending on your internet speed. So I usually just sit back for a moment while everything installs. Once the packages finish setting up, the project is ready to run. Once everything finishes installing and the environment is fully set up, I start the scanner by running python scanner.py. And that boots up the ethical port scanner locally. The Flask server boots up, and you'll see it running on port 5000 locally. This means everything is ready. So I just control-click the link, and it opens the ethical port scanner in my browser. From here, the UI loads instantly. Before we even get into the main UI, the tool runs this old-school boot sequence. It starts by initializing all core modules, mapping the host, loading the full port scan matrix, and once the entire boot process completes, it jumps straight into the scanner interface. Cool. So the main UI is up. You've got the target box, the scan button, and the neon dashboard doing its thing in the background. All we have to do now is drop in a domain or an IP and fire up the scan. For the demo, I'm using a safe public testing host provided by Nmap. So let me type in scanme.nmap.org. And now, let's kick off a full scan. This will asynchronously sweep through all 65,000 ports, detect every open service, grab live banners, identify protocols, check for common vulnerabilities, and map each port to its recommended security fix. You'll also see severity ratings, full-form service names, and detailed descriptions show up automatically. Basically, the scanner does all the heavy lifting in one click. So let's run it and watch the results stream in. Alright, the scan's running. It takes a bit to go through every port, so let me fast forward to the results. And there we go. The scan is complete. You can see the tool has resolved the target, identified all open ports, and broken everything down in a clean, readable format. Each port comes with a detected service, the full protocol name, a clear description, attack techniques that apply to that service, recommended security fixes, severity ratings, and even live banner information whenever the target exposes one. Because the scanner runs asynchronously, all of this is collected quickly. Banners, services, risk analysis. Everything happens in parallel. You can see SSH returning a full OpenSSH banner, HTTP showing its typical web traffic risks, and each port has proper context instead of just raw numbers. This makes it super easy to analyze what's actually risky, what needs patching, and what looks suspicious. You can scroll through the results, check severities, and review each service like a proper mini audit. And once you're done going through the findings, you can export the entire scan as a professionally formatted PDF. And here we go, the generated PDF report. Everything from the scan is now organized into a clean, professional layout. You get the port number, the detected service, the full banner we grabbed, detailed descriptions, attack vectors, recommended fixes, and a clear severity rating for each finding. It's basically a mini vulnerability report you can save, share, or use for documentation. Super handy if you're learning security, doing internal audits, or just want structured output instead of raw terminal text. And yeah, that's the full workflow of the ethical port scanner. From real-time scanning to banner grabbing, vulnerability insights, and automated PDF reporting, everything runs locally, fast, and fully asynchronously. Super fun tool to play with, and even better if you're learning networking or security. Anyway, that's it for this demo. Hope you enjoyed it.